Welcome. By listening, you have joined the Reb-Alien. You're listening to Reb-Alien.
What is up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of Rebellion. Joining me is my co-host as usual, Mr. Pato himself, aka Pato the Ghostwriter, aka Pato Morningstar.
Oh, you're starting to do that too.
I figured I'd do it for you.
Hey, why not? Well, we got Dayguard here, your main man, leading the Rebellion here against boredom. And how are you doing?
Oh, not much, just
The usual?
the usual, you could say that.
Well, for me, it's been more than the usual. I've been home on a forced, doctored ordered vacation.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I wish I had a cool story behind my injury, like I was wrestling alligators, I was wrestling Tyrannosaurus Rexes, or climbing Mount Everest, and,
Wrestling something.
or not necessarily wrestling, or fighting bad guys that say mass vigilante at night, but no. All I did was step out of the shower.
Wow.
Just trying to, stepped over the bathtub, and before I even hit the ground, my body, I don't know, just clenched up. I don't know what happened. I wasn't even losing my balance,
You
but
could at least made it into there was something in the shower. I tried fighting it, but it got the best of
it
me.
got the best of me. Yeah, I wish it was one of those, but no, it was just one of those, and I didn't even lose my balance. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, my body just, I had like a spasm in my,
Yeah.
next thing you know, I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Then I go to work and some jackass has a cold and he shares it with us. So,
Don't you just hate that?
because now every time I sneeze, I feel like my spinal cord wants to blow up.
I've had that feeling before. That the first time that happened to me, I think I was in middle school. Like I said, when you mentioned sneeze, like I said, I don't know where I tried to sneeze very big. When I did, like my back went it straightened up, but it hurt at this. I'm like,
Yeah.
like I threw it out. I'm like,
Threw out your back by a sneeze. Oh, and you were in middle school.
exactly.
I don't feel so bad now. I mean, I was going to say don't get old, but anyway,
I know.
it could happen to anyone.
I know. Yeah, I learned that, but I remember that time in middle school, I was in pain throughout the entire class, throughout the entire day. My back was hurting, no matter how straight I tried to sit.
Well, and that's the problem, because once something gets pinched, sometimes you try to straighten it out, and what you're doing is you're pinching it even more. And that's kind of what happened with me, plus the sneezing didn't help. And then I ended up going to the doctor. I broke down, and he gave me some good stuff, though. I mean, that stuff, I take it, and I've never had pills that numb you out. I swear, I woke up that same night, because I went Sunday. I went that same night. I took the pill, and I woke up around midnight to go to the restroom. And I was able to stand up straight, so I was like, hey, this thing is working.
Yeah.
But I couldn't feel my hands. I was like,
Oh, so it made you completely numb.
oh gosh, motor skills were gone. I was totally numb. It relaxed every muscle. That's some good stuff,
Talk about the saying, I've become so numb I can feel you there.
Oh,
From Lincoln Park.
Lincoln Park, hey. What
Yeah.
can I say? Alrighty, so that's been my week. I hope everybody, by the way, thank you for listening. We
Thank
appreciate
you for listening.
you.
Yeah.
I hope your week is going a lot better than mine.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure they would say maybe or not. But anyway.
Well, everybody's got stuff going on in life, but
All right, so today's subject now, you mentioned wrestling, you mentioned injury, then that was something I wanted to talk about. For those of you who do not know, there was a famous wrestler who I'm pretty sure most of you are going to know if you're a really hardcore wrestling fan. And what I mean by that is you don't just watch one wrestling show. What I mean is the WWE. There are other wrestling programs too. And there's the biggest league in Mexico is AAA, lucha-libre, or as they would pronounce it, triple A.
Oh, there you go. Maybe I'll have you in SWA one of these days.
You'll regret it because I suck.
It's all gravy. It's Spanglish. You can talk English.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah, AAA. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he's a famous wrestler. He's, like I said, I mean, you've done some more research than I have.
Well, here's the thing. Not here, I'm giving away my age, but I used to watch this kid when I was a teen. When I was like 14, 15, 16 years old. I watched this guy wrestle. In fact, it's one of the things that, one of the few things in common that Dad and I had that we could sit together, besides RoboCop movies, and watch there. We would, or one of the things in Spanish that I would sit there and watch with.
I think oh no, hold on.
And it was funny because the person we are talking about
is the one and only La Parka.
La Parka. What is his real name there? I forget it. I said it earlier.
Hold up. Here we go. The wrestling legend whose real name was Jesus Alfonso Escabosa, I believe that's what it says.
Jesus Alfonso Escabosos?
I think so, yeah.
Escabosa.
Yeah.
Huerta. Jesus Alfonso Huerta Escabosas. A.K.A.
La Parka. Yes, he's a big legend. Believe it or not, he's not just famous in Mexico. He's also famous around the world too.
Oh yeah, because the AAA went on tour everywhere, and
it recently went in. Last I remember correctly, it recently went in New York.
Yeah,
they had the biggest show there. Yeah,
and here the man was 54 years old, still doing his thing. He wrestled the last engagement, I guess, was in October. That's where he suffered some injuries, and
according to this,
unfortunately, he didn't recover. He died from the injuries.
He died from the injuries. Yeah.
So may he rest in peace. We thank you as fans for all the good shows and all the entertainment and happiness you brought to us.
Yeah.
And our hearts go out to the family because this is very, very hard time they're going through.
And there's a lot of wrestlers who work with La Parka, and I mean like people who are in the WWE and who are not in the WWE who have worked with La Parka very closely.
Well, let's just say one thing. One of the most famous ones that everybody should know because he's in WWE right now is Mysterio, Rey Mysterio.
Exactly.
Now, when I used to watch him back in the day,
he was Rey Mysterio Jr.
Rey Mysterio Jr. because his uncle was Rey Mysterio. And
in the indie scenes, he still goes by Rey Mysterio. I mean, if you remember Lucha Underground, she introduced him not as Rey Mysterio, as Rey Mysterio Jr.
Yeah, that's what, because Rey Mysterio Jr. and I are about the same age. Okay, just saying. So back then, it was fun for me to watch that because I thought, hey, I could be doing that. Unfortunately, I had a family at that age too, so I had to work. So I couldn't pursue the dream that I had to become a wrestler. But as you can see, it's not an easy road. There's a lot of injuries. And even the WWE back then, when they gave out those warnings, they even mentioned it. It took years and years of practice to get it right because most of these guys, they start training since they are
18 or younger.
Not 18. We're talking about some of these guys, usually they start training when they're 12, 13,
that is true.
14.
Yeah.
Or they have some kind of martial arts training where they become flexible and the training becomes easier. But some of the injuries, especially the Mexican style wrestling, which is very acrobatic, and that's what this man did. I don't know if you ever saw him fly.
No, I have in some older videos and some of the current. I think the last one I saw, let me see, it was him, Pentagon Jr., and I think Ray Phoenix.
Yeah. Well, I used to see him. He used to team up with like Blue Panther and back in the days, and they were the what they call the rudos. And then you got the technical ones. And
for those of you who do not know,
like the good guys and the bad guys.
Yeah, technicos, or in wrestling terms, babyface are the names for the good guys. And rudos and heels are the bad guys.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah.
So it's a big loss for the wrestling world.
It's a big loss for,
Mexican wrestling, of course. He will be missed.
He will be.
And it's kind of sad because those are people my age. He was about a good 9 to 10 years older than me, but
still, a guy at age of 54 still doing that.
Still doing that. That's amazing.
It is amazing.
But like I said, I have a lot of respect for people that do that because they give their all in that ring to put on a show. And
hell, look at Undertaker. He's not wrestling as he usually does, he has a lot. Yeah, he has a lot of it. Like I said, he has knee problems and other stuff, but he still appears in stuff like WrestleMania. I mean, the last WrestleMania he was in that I remember was the one, I believe, was it Orlando, I believe? Orlando? No, not Orlando. I don't remember exactly, but it was a match against John Cena. And the story goes pretty much that John Cena, because he, like I said, The Undertaker has challenged Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and normally in WrestleMania, Undertaker would win. Because he had a wrestling streak that was never beaten.
He was the old school badass, from back in the day.
And he still is, believe it or not.
Go back to La Parka. I mean, I'm just saying is that they do that very acrobatic wrestling that causes a lot of injuries. Oh, and they do that to put on a good show for you, the fan.
I agree, and I remember Rey Mysterio mentioning when doing his move, he has his left knee 6 times. He had to get surgery on that, and that's not fun.
No, that's not fun at all. Well, like I said, moving on from the wrestling, like I said, may he rest in peace, and our hearts go out to the family. Our prayers and thoughts. It's a loss for everyone.
It is a loss, especially for.
I mean, we didn't know him personally, like hanging out with him, but because we grew up watching him wrestling, we feel the loss.
Yeah,
and it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad because the man's a legend, believe it or not.
He is. Well, hold on. We'll move on to the next subject.
Okay, and we're back, and we're moving on to our next subject, which is the movies.
Well, right now, just a little bit about, you mentioned John Cena.
Yeah.
I was watching Bumblebee movie the other day. Now, he raises, when John Cena salutes him, he raises his hand. Do you know from what movie it is?
The Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think that was a missed opportunity. If I was the director right then and there, when John Cena saluted him, you know what I would have done?
What?
The typical John Cena move.
Oh my God.
I would have had Bumblebee just go, you can't see me, and waving the hand in front. When I was seeing that, I'm like, why didn't they do that instead? That would have been like so like.
It would have been funny, but I'm pretty sure,
No, the Breakfast Club thing was pretty cool too. It was 80s. I mean, the movie was set in the 80s. But anyway, I just wanted to say that because we were talking about La Parka and wrestling. And somehow John Cena came into that.
And then you thought of Bumblebee since he's in that movie?
Well, yeah, I just recently watched it. Like I said, I've been home on a forced vacation, so I've been watching stuff.
Lucky you, at least.
Well, hey, it's not lucky me.
Well, I'm not.
It sucks when you can't get up to do basic things like go to the restroom because it hoits.
I knew you were going to say that.
Hey, that's a very basic need.
I was going to say that too, but you beat me to the punchline.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Joker, right?
Yes, Joker. You just told me that you recently seen it.
Yes, during my time down, it finally made it out to the box, so I got it. I rented it off there.
It is good. I will. Like I said.
Yeah, you weren't kidding. I was very impressed. Joaquin Phoenix did an awesome job.
Yes, he did.
And that movie is so good that it could. I mean, I hope that everybody that watched it with a mentality that it's a fictional story about the Joker and not an inspirational thing to become a criminal like that. Because I mean, the way it's done is like
he's pretty like
it's basically somebody that's lived a hard life, getting kicked in all the time,
and
then of course, I mean, but we're spoiling the movie, by the way.
Yeah, but the thing is that because. You know how the Joker always like laughs out of nowhere, right? Even if he doesn't make a joke, right?
Right.
In this movie, pretty much they explain that it's a mental condition,
like a nervous tick. Like that's how he coped with things. And when people would look at him funny, he would hand them a card
and explain that I apologize if I laugh out of nowhere. It is a condition I have, and then yada yada yada.
Yeah, because people would be talking probably about serious things, and he would start laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that was one of the things that I realized. Then the whole thing that the mother, he was taking care of his mom, but his mom had mental issues too.
She had really mental issues.
Now, the thing is that, okay, let me put a spin, one of my own little evil spins, because I always like to play devil's advocate. Now, in this movie, they made Thomas Wayne look like an ass.
Yeah, I agree that they did make. You could say it. Go ahead.
No, I'm good. I stopped there. Like a jackass.
He pretty much made him. He was an ass. Yes.
Yeah, he was an ass. And I mean, normally in all the movies, he's like such a goody two shoes that he's almost the saint. But here, he was trying to run for politics, and he was kind of a jackass. Now, the mom had told
had told him that Thomas Wayne
was his dad in a sense, right? Or he read the letter. He never understood why until he read a letter. But the thing is,